Welcome to another episode of Chad Sports Talk. You don't know, my name's Chad. Take a dive with sports. And here it is. The tenuous season. 17 games in 18 weeks. You know, all the blood, sweat, and tears that every player has going through childhood dreams now come to reality. It is time for Super Bowl weekend. That's right. Super Bowl 56 will kick off this Sunday in SoFi Stadium, where the Cincinnati Bengals, the surprise team out of the AFC, would take on the home team, Los Angeles Rams. It should be an epic showdown to see if Joe Cool can continue his swagger. Can the Rams repeat what the Buccaneers did last year when they won in Tampa? Can the Rams win at home? Can Sam Darnold, put that cherry on top for his resume for the Hall? So many things to dive into. Also go over a little bit of the awards program really quick. And include some other coaching hires, but I'll make that really short and sweet because we all know we're here for the Super Bowl. What I provide my 2 cents. But before we dive in all that action, if you could smash that thumbs up for me, it really pleases you two guys or help promote this channel. You go to subscribe. I check my analytics. I love you guys to review my work, and I love you all for doing that. Not many of you subscribe. It doesn't cost you a dime. It helps me provide more entertainment value for you. So let's go ahead and just kind of dive right into some of the major awards of the previous night. The MVP, I thought should have been Tom Brady. I know he had a very, very prolific season, as well as Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers won his second in a row. He had absolutely phenomenal numbers. I mean, just Aaron Rodgers on the field is just a different level altogether. Off the field's a little different. That's a different topic. But on the field, he's absolutely brilliant. A little bit arrogant, but he backs it up. And well deserved for Aaron Rodgers to win an MVP. So, but he kind of hinted that he's still kind of uncertain what he's going to do afterwards. Does he stay at Green Bay? Does he retire? Does he leave? You don't know. Offensive Player of the Year, Cooper Kupp. I think no brainer on that one. He was just a highlight reel and stat machine all season long. Defensive Player of the Year went to TJ Watt. That's what the Watt is back on top of the defensive category. I mean, he had a phenomenal year, even being injured, tied Strahan's record for single season sacks. Just imagine if he actually played the entire season, entire games. I think he would have broken it. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jamar Chase. And once again, no surprise, he's a human highlight reel, especially hooking up with his old college teammate and Joe Burrow up there in Cincinnati. One of the reasons why the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. And Defensive Player of the Year, no surprise there. Michael Parsons, the Swiss Army knife of the Dallas Cowboys defense, a plug and play. You put him somewhere and he's all over the place. He struggled a little bit in the beginning, as any rookie would, but then was able to rebound quite nicely and finish strong in the end of the season to really, solidify that the Cowboys defense is going to be something to really look at in the coming years. Coach of the Year went to Vrabel. I think it's like no surprise for that one either. Really developed how he's able to guide that team without King Henry for a good chunk of it to the number one seed in the AFC. So some good accolades for everyone out there. In terms of the coaching carousel, I said Doug Peterson should be picked for the Jaguars head coaching job, which he was. The Dolphins went after San Francisco OC McDaniel to lead Tua next season, and both the Saints and Texans went in-house for their hires, both taking the defensive coordinators, and Lovie Smith is back to being the head coach. Previous stints were with the Bears and the Buccaneers. With the Bears, actually led them to a Super Bowl with Rex Grossman as their quarterback. But after that, his stints at head coaching has not been great, especially at the University of Illinois. It wasn't that great either, so There's a little questionable call by the Texans for Lovie Smith, but we'll see how that one pans out. But once again, Eric Bieniemy, no head coaching job. Brian Flores is out, probably because of his lawsuit with the NFL. And kind of claiming how the year they got hired by the Dolphins, that the Broncos showed up late and appeared to be intoxicated, but the Broncos quickly denied those allegations and all that. And then when he got text from his former head coach, or coach he used to work for, Bill Belichick, congratulated him for the head coaching job with the Giants, which he did not interview yet for, mind you. Find out it wasn't him, it was Doble. And then after, the Giants, interview Flores, then they hire him, hired Doble, said Flores, and Flores talking about how the Miami front office was wanting him to tank games and trying to pay him incentives to tank games so to get a better draft pick. But you got to think, look at what Flores had done for 2 years. He almost had that team in the playoffs, especially this year. So there's definitely some interesting aspects to it. And in terms of what this lawsuit really is entitling, what he's actually said is to kind of bring to light how the Rooney Rule doesn't have any teeth. It doesn't really do anything. It's still pretty much, a elite club. It looks like for coaching carousels. If you're part of a certain tree, you get more preference over that and some, I guess, bias. But it's hard to really determine, because if you look at the head coaches in the NFL with the 32 franchises, only 5 of them have minority head coaches. 5. All 32. When roughly a good 80 to 90% of your league is minority players. That seems a bit one-sided. Owners, there's only, I think, one non-white owner, and he's the owner of the Jaguars. And the general managers, there's not that many out there, really. There's a few floating out there that are minority GMs, but there's something the NFL has to do to clean up, to kind of, ensure that everyone has the equal opportunity, regardless of how they look, what they should, look as the resume, and how they interview for the position. That really should boils down to. It shouldn't be, a bias, but until you get rid of the bias and the ownership, this problem's still going to present itself. Well, enough of all that, and get off my soapbox on that aspect. And congratulations to all those who were selected for their prestigious awards and all the coaching hires. Hopefully they do some great things. But here we go. Let's get into this Super Bowl matchup, and this should be a excellent matchup. You look at what the Rams did in the offseason and during the season, what they brought into that franchise. They put all their chips in the middle of the table. They put in. They did a trade for Matthew Stafford, sending away Goff, draft picks, and then traded for Von Miller. Was able to sign OBJ when he got released from the Cleveland Browns. So they're all in. They're looking at this. You got Sam Darnold right there on the defensive line. The anchor of this defense, the focal point. He's the face of that defense. That he's going to be there. You got Jalen Ramsey that back there in the backfield that's looking to shut down Jamar Chase. Von Miller gives another pass rush. Leonard Floyd's another quality defensive player you got to worry about. And we all know the struggles that Cincinnati offensive line did. They cough up 9 sacks to Tennessee. But the Bengals still won that game. They go into Kansas City, trailing that. They looked pathetic that first half, but they came back and won that game. Their first game against the Raiders, they didn't do very well either, and they came back and won that game. There's something about this Bengals team that you cannot overlook. the poise that Joe Burrow has in the backfield, regardless if he's on his backside or standing upright. He has the same demeanor. He doesn't really show much emotion. He's very calm, cool, collected. He looks like a machine out there. Take a punishment if he has to, but still able to deliver the rock and find those open receivers. And that's the thing you have to look out for. I mean, especially if Joe Mixon can escape that pass rush and the rushing Rams in the backfield and his break loose. The Rams have been known to be susceptible to the run. You can sit there and double up Jamar Chase all you want. Burrows will find other targets. He's done that. Kansas City did that. They locked down Joe Burrow, but they still end up finding ways to find other receivers until they finally pulled away from Jamar Chase, and that was it. Game opened up again. It's just going to be a phenomenal game, and I'm really, really looking forward to this matchup. This is epic. This is that the Bengals are a team that are on a roll, and the team shows that when teams start gelling in the right time frame and moving in the right direction, they're kind of hard to stop. Last year's Buccaneers, prime example. I mean, they were just on a roll, and they were having a hard time stopping them. They were way too much for Kansas City last year. Of course, that was led by their defense. And then you look at the Giants when they had that run into the Super Bowl where they knock off an undefeated Patriots to win the Super Bowl. And they were just going through, and that team was actually getting Eli was getting sacked a lot during that season as well, and yet they still win the Super Bowl. But I think really the key factor is, one is, can Matthew Stafford keep his interception throws down to a bare minimum? He is known to keep the other team in the games, so you got to look at that aspect. And for the Joe Burrow is getting sacked, probably another 5 times, really going to hamper him at all. This is really going to be a matchup between Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase. Which receiver is going to have the better day? It really does. And it's just really, really hard for me to kind of see. But like I said, the Rams put everything in all the chips in the middle of the table. They're all in. Joe Burrow sitting, leaning back, smoking a cigar, enjoying himself. And I'm just, looking at this, that if the Bengals secondary steps up and does what they have to do, especially like when they did against the Chiefs, they'll find ways to come out on top of this. And I am going to go with, it's really kind of hard to really kind of pinpoint who really. I mean, it really is. I mean, both these teams are extremely well, but right now the Bengals are on a roll. Hell, so the Rams. I mean, just to get the Super Bowl alone, you have to be on some type of roll. But the Bengals have been the underdog the entire season. I don't think it was until they took on, when they beat the Ravens twice, that people really took them seriously. And then when they beat the Chiefs, I think that's when the mystique of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon really rose to the top, and they became the new favorite son, or the new favorite team. Even though I think Buffalo was still up there, so was Kansas City. Tennessee was on the outskirts, but Cincinnati was kind of like that dark horse everyone was looking at and kind of going, okay, I think this could be the one that could really, really shake things up. They did. The Rams were able to get over the hump of the 49ers. I was able to finally beat them on their 7th try. And if it wasn't for a dropped interception, the 49ers would be in the Super Bowl. So, with that being said, I know all the stars right now are in LA, especially that Rams defense, and I really foresee the Rams taking an early lead in this game. and pretty much dominate that first half, probably up like 21-10, around that mark. But it's that second half. The second half is where Cincinnati really comes out of the locker room and just kind of go, okay, it's a new game. We'll start over. We spotted them 21 points. And they just come out and just fire on all cylinders and find ways to really, adjust to the Rams' pressure, adjust to the Rams' defense, able to handle the Rams' offense, and just make those plays like they need to, like they've done throughout these playoffs. They've gone into 2 other games where they were the underdog in hostile territory and walked away winners. I have a feeling this is going to happen again. It's going to come down to a late field goal by McPherson. Shitter. And I am going to kind of see the game go 27-24 or like a 30-27. I'll go 30-27. That's the final score. Cincinnati getting their first championship, knocking off the Rams in Super Bowl 56. Well, there you go. There is my prediction. And let me know down below who you think is going to win this big game. Do you think the Bengals have a shot? Do you think, it should be Rams all the way, just in the blowout, a la 49ers Broncos? Just let me know in the comments down below. While you're there, like I said, you go ahead and smash that thumbs up. And you can also hit that subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, you click that bell notification. Let you know next time I post a video. And I will see you next time on Chat Sports Talk.